Welcome to Zero's Game Room, where all things gaming takes place. Interviews, discussions, and the latest gaming news. So take a seat, get comfortable, adjust your headset, because it's game time. Here's your host, Zero.
Come on in, check yourself in, put your headset on, get comfortable, because you are entering ZGR Zero's Game Room. I am Zero, and my co-host...
I'm Brett.
Okay,
Sorry,
did you...
I was like, wait a minute. Are you going to say something?
Do we know who we are? Do we know our own identity?
You know what? I think in life we just don't know who we are now.
Oh, you're gonna get deep on this podcast
No,
now? When did we decide to get like super deep and like
Zero's Game Room, more like Zero's motivational room. Please.
I hope you're kidding.
What's that?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, but today in ZGR, it's going to be a little bit of a different episode. First and foremost, since when this is going up, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year,
Happy New
man.
Year, on Brett. It is 2019. Where do we see all the inspirational quotes everywhere that everybody puts up? It's like, oh, 2018 broke me and 2019 is going to be my year. Then like 2 months into it, they're like,
Dude, I want to kill myself in 2019. You're like, wait, what?
what happened to all your positivity? Where did that go?
It went out the door.
But no, we're changing it in the way that we're not going to necessarily be talking about 2019, or not. We're not going to be talking about 2018, and we're not talking about video games. But we're going to talk about the podcast as a whole, kind of a little bit to get to know us better. Because I feel that personally, I feel like I started this podcast and I never really introduced who I am. I'm still not going to reveal my name. I'm Zero. I love video games, and I decided to start this podcast because originally this was going to be my senior project for college, which it was, and I got to do 10 episodes. But then after a while, I kind of left it. For those who have been around that long, Garrison King, I'm talking to you. He's been a loyal guy since like day one of this podcast. you haven't even had a chance to like talk to him on the show or anything.
Still love him.
He's a day one, and I also want to thank, people who came here through Mangs, because that's a majority of the people here came thanks to his video, which is still on his channel, fun fact. But that's kind of how I started this podcast, and I really love video games, the culture, and I really wanted to get to know it. As you may know, at one point I had a co-host by the name of Grayson Live. Grayson Live and I are still great friends. We still talk, we still hang out, but our schedules were just not matching up. And what are you doing on, Fred? He's like switching modes. He took off his glasses and he has his like shades on now.
I'm Joker now.
Oh, get out of here. You're Joker now.
Yeah, Persona 5.
What are you going to say about Persona 5?
It's cool, man. I don't know. But go on.
Oh,
yes,
he doesn't think it's that great. But anywho, so in this episode, we really wanted to talk about, what ZGR was in 2018. Because for the most part, other than the fact of like the first 10 episodes, we had a lot of interviews. And later on, we didn't really get to all of that. And it kind of evolved. We had Grayson on for a while. And then you might have noticed I deleted those. And now, with me... Entirely. I can't speak.
Entirely.
I'm tired. It's too early for this.
Fired.
I'm fired, but I'm the creator of this.
Doesn't matter.
The point is,
Pred's game.
It's on Pred's Game Room. But for the most part, I think 2018 was pretty good. I don't think it was amazing, but I think what we have planned for 2019 will be way better.
Yeah, I think, I joined midway through 2018, and... when we just talked about it, we had a really good chemistry, and it just started off by us just working together and just me being tired, and we're just like, hey, man, what do you think about games? And you're like, well, I do a podcast about games. I was like, really?
Really? Yeah, we were working together on a shift, and we just, we knew of each other,
yeah,
but we didn't, know each other until our workplace forced us to work together. It's like, oh. We have a lot of things in common that we like.
It's true. Well, I think the really big standout thing that we have between us is I'm more beautiful, but we're gonna just put that aside because we just have the face for podcasting.
Oh yeah, that's what I tell people. I'm like, this is why I didn't join television. Yeah. I joined podcasting. Did you just do a hair swoop?
I'm just too beautiful, man.
Didn't you have your hair longer at one point?
Dude, I did. When I was in middle school, I had my hair up to my shoulders. And I looked like Justin Bieber, and I was like, I was a fat, chubby Justin Bieber. And I was like, why can't I get any friends or girlfriends?
As you're hair swooping,
yeah, I was swooping. I was like, wow, I see what's wrong with me.
But yeah, so I decided to recruit Onpred. He was willing to do it, and a lot of things are going to be happening in 2019. We're probably going to be moving to a new site. Right now we have it on Podomatic, but we found a website called Podbean. It's actually pretty popular in the United States, and it seems to me, because I created a free profile, but the problem with Podomatic is it's very expensive.
Yes.
It's very expensive. Like, we're going to be paying way less to be on Podbean. There's an app for that. I feel like the support is a lot better. And the best part, we have, like, unlimited storage for, like, very few dollars a month.
Yeah, because with Podomatic, we were, like, as you said before, when we were talking about behind the scenes, we're like, hey, man, like, we're going to have to get, like, a bigger package or the premium package.
Yeah, because the storage that we have now is only, I think it's 2.5 gigs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2.5 gigs, and we're paying a butt ton of money, like a couple $100.
I know nowadays you can buy, a terabyte for, like, close to, like, $40?
Yeah,
now? And then
yeah.
we're like, hey, 5 gigabytes? $100. And you're like, what the hell?
Well, yeah, no, it's not even that. I think, like, for the next package, you and I would have to split, like, $150. It was, like, $300 for the year for 5 gigs. And I'm like, well... So, yeah, the website, check it out. It's called Podbean. We haven't uploaded anything there, but that is more than likely where our podcast is going to be moving. If you want to keep up with us, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Zero's Game Room. That way you know when we're doing the transition. And as we get closer to that time where we're going to move during the new year, that's, at the beginning of every episode, we'll make sure to be like, hey, check out Podbean, blah, blah, blah. We'll be posting the Twitter. We'll be posting it on Facebook at Zero's Gaming Room and at our YouTube channel where OnPred is taking control of that, and he's uploading our episodes.
Yes. So by the time this episode uploads, it should be in 2019.
Yeah, we will be.
I'm going to upload daily so that we can get caught up into... Right now we have about like 27, 28 episodes right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to upload Monday through Friday, one video a day so we can catch up into, the 30 mark or the 28 mark. And then after that, then I'm going to upload whenever you upload. Mm-hmm. So that way
we
it can
stay
be
consistent.
a weekly thing. Yeah.
Another thing that is going on, we are currently looking for a potential new voice for the intro, and we have already gotten in contact with a couple people about a new logo. So there are going to be some changes in 2019 that'll basically kind of, because I feel like 2018 for us, we were still kind of trying to find our identity. We were trying to solidify who we were and what we were trying to do. And now that I think we have a consistency in like co-host, and I also feel like we have a little bit more of stability of what we want to do. And with Podbean, we'll be able to save a little more money, which means we can like dive into other things like video games that are going to be coming out. Because 2019, as we mentioned in our top games of 2019, there's a lot of good games coming out in 2019, so we'll be able to actually purchase these games and, then talk about it here on the podcast.
Yeah, I like talking to you, man. It's really fun doing that.
Yeah, I think this podcast, the majority of it, we do it for fun, but it's also a little bit of a passion because, like, video games, I feel like get a lot of bad rap in the media, and I feel like there's a side that people don't really realize about. Like, you hear about the Grammys, the Emmys, and whatnot, but only us gamers really understand the video game awards and how big and how important those are to us. And like, it's like the Emmys to other people, but like, I feel like it needs a lot more light. Plus, we like to talk about like reviews. We like to talk about like what's coming out. ZGR is essentially what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a hub for gamers who like to have something in the background while they work. I know a fan. Her name is Azure. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's what her Twitter name. I don't want to say her real name. She listens to this podcast in the background, and she told me that she really enjoys, like, while she's drawing, and that's kind of what Zero's Game Room is supposed to be about.
You're so precious.
Yeah. She actually, you know what? She actually drew me fan art. I'm actually going to show it to you. Yeah,
that's
for
so
my
cool.
birthday. Yeah, she actually sent me a picture. It was freaking amazing.
That's so cool.
I'll show you. She's really talented. But yeah, so that's what ZGR is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a hub for gamers to, come and enjoy video games, the culture, the new games coming out, why you should play this. And I think the chemistry between you and I mixes really well because very much we see things very differently, you and I.
Yeah, and I really like that because, I think when, like Smash Brothers, we both thought it was a very good game.
Yeah.
But we thought the negatives about it were different, and I like that I can just discuss with you. And even though I like to get crazy and get angry, even though I hardly ever I don't think there's ever a time where I actually got angry at you. It's just
no, you don't.
Crazy.
It's just that you get frustrated with the game, and it just seems like you're projecting it on me.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this, man.
need to frustrate every anger that I have on you. It just makes sense, man. It's good podcasting. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's pretty good podcasting. I think people enjoy it.
Yeah, like I just really when you invited me, I always wanted to create something, and this is a gateway for me to keep creating.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. We could just talk about anything, and I think I was like, "Hey, buddy, should we talk about this?" Or, "Hey, buddy, do you think this is kind of lame?" And you're like, "What the hell? That's amazing!"
Yeah. No,
like,
that's
sweet.
the thing I told Ompred. Like, I'm like, if you have an idea, by all means, throw it my way. Chances are, if I can at least morph it into something I like, we can talk about that. So I'm like, always, whenever you have any kind of idea at all, just toss it my way. I'm glad to hear it. And that goes for anybody listening, too. Again, you can hit us up on Twitter at Zero's Game Room, on Facebook at Zero's Gaming Room. You can even email us at zerosgameroom@gmail.com. And you can hit up our YouTube, and like I said, eventually, which is also called Zero's Game Room. And eventually we will be on Podbean, so that's another thing.
The one thing I really want to say is that I'm proud between both of us is that I think in the beginning when we're doing this together, I think it was after E3, there was a moment where we stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it was because you didn't have the laptop.
I didn't have the laptop, and we weren't.
We were just not in sync.
We weren't in sync.
And then the review that we're going to do, should we say it?
I mean, yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, we're going to do
the Megaman 11 review that we were going to do,
it
was going to be like a different format, and man, we're just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it was really hard. We were very lazy. But I feel like as time has gone on, we get a little more concentrated, and now we have at least an established day, like, hey, we're going to record this day.
Yeah.
We got to come in, and we even talk on Discord, and we plan things out for the future, because we really do want this podcast to succeed. Even though it is a passion project and it's like a side project, we still want to see it grow. And Ompred wants to be a diva eventually.
I want to be a diva. I want to get all my...
Stop! You don't have long hair.
I gotta do the hair flip.
You don't have long hair. But as for plans of 2019, we want to continue doing the podcast. We want to be a little more professional about it, better sound quality. I'm going to be doing all, if not a majority, of the editing. So, blame me for that. Any criticism would be highly appreciated. And we want to bring in more interviews.
Yeah. I think the main focus of the ZGR, as you said, is to bring about the passion for gaming. And when there's news, we would love to talk about it. When there's reviews, again, we would love to talk about it. But I think when there's times like during the winter, like besides Smash, there wasn't really anything.
Not a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like you said before in the beginning, this whole project happened because it was a senior project and it was a lot of interviews and it was really cool to meet new people. So I think
because I was able to reach out to YouTubers who are very friendly, more friendly than I thought they'd be. They're more willing to do this.
Yeah, they're not divas.
Yeah, no, it was very surprising. Like I said, I owe my biggest thanks to Mangs. He's a Fire Emblem YouTuber, and he is hilarious, and he is amazing. And he was one of those guys that I was like, I don't even know if I should shoot my email out his way. But yeah, and it's actually funny. I think what he said himself kind of drives me to do this more. He said, look, I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people ask me to do podcasts. And for the most part, I always say no because I don't have the time. But your podcast is only 20 minutes. And even then, you only asked me to be on for 5 minutes, but I stayed the entire 20 minutes because it's only 20 minutes. People are doing podcasts out here for an hour. And it's like
2 hours.
Yeah, it's like who has that time for that?
Yeah.
Like, you literally need to dedicate your time for 20 minutes. It's like, okay, that's like an episode of something on TV or something, and I could listen to it in my car. I can listen to it wherever I go with my headphones, whatever. But yeah, we're going to try to reach out to YouTubers a couple of times, see who we can get on, maybe some voice actors if that would be interesting, some people who sang, like were the artists in certain video games.
Is that a hint?
That might be a hint. Well, this is what we're trying to do for 2019. We want to bring quality content to our listeners.
Yeah, I think, like you said before, those things that you said, I really want to do this with you, man, and I think I'm really excited for 2019 because I think the effort that we gave in the beginning, just me and you, we're like, okay, well, I'll just hop on my computer, you hop on your computer, and then I put a towel over, because I remember putting a towel over my head just to record, and it still sounded like crap, but like now we're in an actual studio, and it's so much better, so much smoother.
And just being across from you and seeing your face. Because, like, I feel like we used to stomp on each other's toes a lot, accidentally. It's like you would want to say something and I'd cut you off, or I would want to say something and you'd cut me off. But it was unintentional because we're not looking at you.
But now I can just look at you and give you the stink eye like, let me talk, jerk.
The mic is yours.
Lover of podcasting. But yeah, I'm really excited for 2019, and I think I'm putting you on the spot. Okay. But like I really think that I think this year we should try to go to more conventions.
Yeah.
Or trying to go to more events, not because we're famous. I mean,
but we can get interviews. If we take microphones and stuff, we could talk to developers and stuff. Like, for sure, I really want to go to E3 this coming year. We want to go to different conventions. The most thing that we want is we want this podcast to be successful in the fact that, like, it's where people can go and enjoy video games. Because we're two, like, guys who just love video games.
Yeah.
Like, we bring our Switches everywhere we go.
Oh, I even got the new got the new update for Smash. I finally updated my Smash.
Oh my gosh.
So whoa, I can finally beat you now.
Oh
with
my
a new
gosh,
patch.
Whatever. I guess that's what we're going to do after this. But let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Overall, I think 2018 was, what would you say?
I think it was experimental.
Yep.
I think I'm really glad it worked out, because in the beginning I think it was just testing, like, at least for me, it was like, podcasting, yay. But then it turned into, hey, this is something that I actually like doing.
It's a lot of fun.
And I'm glad that me and you both stuck out to it. And I hope with 2019 that we're able to still stick with it.
Yeah. And we'll see where we are 1 year from now. And
I can't wait to get my own office. I can't wait to have my own advertisements.
I want you to know
he's
the only one thinking this way. I've been doing this because I love it, but this is on print for you. What?
Give me the money. I'm just kidding. No.
No, we hope people enjoy this podcast and can share it. And, we all come together. We're all gamers. We all love video games. And whatever console or PC Master Race over here.
Yes. Ascended to PChood. Heaven, as they say.
Oh my gosh, let's get out of here. But thank you for listening. We hope for 2019 to be an amazing year. I have been Zero.
I have been Ompred.
And we will see you next time in the next episode of ZGR. What? Why did
you... Wait.
That's his phone. This episode is officially closed. Let's get out of here.
I'm not professional.